We have different kind of love. One is strong affection for another arising out of kinship or personal tie. Another one is maternal love for a child. Another one is attraction based on sexual desires. Affection and tenderness felt by lovers. When you are in love with someone, you start to develop strong compassion for them. The powerful urge to be connected to this person brings new aspects of your relationship, such as emotional or physical intimacy, passion, and a desire to know everything about them and be known by them in return. Love, a simple word but imbued with a depth of meaning that can be wilder even the most learned of us. It is above all else an emotion that should flow naturally, unrestricted and unforced. Yet sometimes you find ourselves in situations where we doubt if the love we are receiving is genuine or results from someone forcing themselves to feel a certain way. If you've been thinking about this, I'll share some key signs that he might be forcing himself to love you. Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome to Female Affairs with Folu. Every female talk is what this channel is all about. Join the female tribe by subscribing and turn on the post notification bell so that you'll be notified when a new video drops. Today I'll be sharing with you 14 signs he's forcing himself to love you. And number one is the emotion seems to be artificial. When love is real, it tends to appear natural and effortless. But when a guy is forcing himself to love you, the emotion may feel artificial or put on. It's like he's acting out of a script rather than living the moment with you. If you often find him exhibiting affections that seem rehearsed or out of context, it could be a sign he's trying hard to convince himself of his feelings. I'm not saying you'll always be in love or feel excited about a relationship, but if it feels like you are living a lie, that's not going to last. The second one is his actions don't align with what he tells you. Another key sign that a guy might not really feel what he says he feels for you is when his actions don't match with his declarations. If he says one thing but doing something else, it could be a sign that he's not really into you, or at least not to the degree he claimed to be. Maybe there is an emotional disconnection between what he says and how he actually feels or behaves around you. For example, he tells you he loves you but never show up to spend time with you. He says he wants to commit but keeps pulling away whenever things get serious. Like, put your money where your mouth is, bro. Number 3, he avoids confronting his own feelings. People genuinely in love have no problem discussing their feelings openly and honestly. But when a man is forcing himself to stay in a relationship he doesn't want to be in, he will often try to avoid any conversation that could lead to him being more honest about his feeling. He might shut down and go quiet when you open up about how you feel or clamor. Whenever the idea of committing comes up, he's avoiding confronting his feelings that he doesn't want to be with you. The fourth on the list is lack of emotional depth. Emotions are layered and love is one of the deepest. If he rarely shares his deeper feelings or thoughts with you, that shows a lack of emotional investment. It's like sailing on a sea that's only a foot deep. You can't explore the depths because there simply aren't any. After all, you can't give what you don't have. No. Number 5, infrequent and inconsistent communication. Communication in love is like oxygen to life. If he's sporadic and inconsistent with his communication or often ignores your messages, for a significant amount of time without a valid reason, perhaps his heart isn't fully committed. Who doesn't like to communicate with someone they love? Nobody. That's why consistent communication is key to a healthy relationship. If he's not able to do so, that's a sign something isn't right. Number 6 on the list, lack of genuine interest in your life. If a guy loves you genuinely, he will be interested in every little details about you, your life, and your day. If he's forcing himself to love, he will display a lack of genuine interest. It could be as simple as not asking about your day or showing indifference to your achievements and struggles. It's like he doesn't care about you. You are not his business. Next one is avoidance of physical intimacy. Physical intimacy is more than just a hug, kiss, or more. It's a form of communication that expresses love and affection. If a guy loves you, he will want to show it with physical touch, not necessarily sexual. But if he forces himself to love you, he will likely avoid all forms of physical contact. He might not want to hold hands with you, kiss you, or even hug you. He wants to keep his distance and remain emotionally detached from you. You'll notice that you are the one who always, initiate physical contact, and he doesn't bother to even come near you. 7, emphasis on friendship over love. While friendship is a strong foundation for love, it's different from love itself. If he emphasizes being good friends rather than being in love, or tends to act more like a friend than a lover, he might be persuading himself to love you. He will talk about having experiences together as friends rather than growing closer as a couple. You'll have conversations and go on friends dates, but when it comes to talking about or exhibiting romantic gestures, he may hold back. He will keep conversations light, only talking interest and not engage in any deep, meaningful discussion. He might also make jokes that involves both of you being just friends, or tell stories about other couples without implying his own feelings for you. These are signs he may be struggling to commit himself to love. He expresses love only under specific circumstances. If his expression of love comes only at specific times, like when he's happy, when things are going well, or when you do something for him, then it may be conditional and not truly genuine. Love should be steadfast, not fluctuating with moods, circumstances, or you meeting his need. As a matter of fact, this is a huge sign that he's forcing himself to love you, because one of the reasons a guy would force himself to love you is because he's using you and doesn't truly love you. He frequently compares you with others. To be honest, you won't love everything about someone, so it takes effort to love them as a whole, but genuine love celebrates uniqueness and doesn't resort to comparison. So if a guy constantly compare you to others, be it his sister, ex-girlfriend, friends, a celebrity, or even a random lady on the street, it's a sign that he isn't truly in love with you. Comparison often implies dissatisfaction and that he believes someone else can do better than you in certain areas. Therefore, if your guy keeps comparing you with to others, is yet to be satisfied with you and might be forcing himself to be with you. He avoids difficult conversations. Relationships are not always a bed of roses. They often come with tough conversations and difficult situations. If he tends to dodge these challenging moments or always tries to keep things light and casual, he's not fully invested in the relationship, like avoiding rough waters instead of learning to sail through them. This approach might signify his love isn't deep enough, and no relationship can survive on casual and fun. Is reluctant to make your relationship public. I'm not saying you should be announcing your relationship on Twitter, IG, or Facebook. He might be a really private person like I am, but if he's unwilling to admit that you are together in front of his friends or family and you've been together for a while, that could be a sign that he's not in it for the long haul. Sure, some guys might just be shy about expressing their feelings, but even so, they should still be willing to recognize your relationship status when asked. The last on the list, rarely initiates plans. Initiating plans is one way to express love and interest. If you're always on the making plans for dates or outing and he rarely, if ever, initiates, he might be forcing the relationship along. It's one thing to take turn, but if he never initiates plans, he probably doesn't see it going anywhere. Final word on this: recognizing these signs can help you understand where your relationship stands. However, they are not definitive proof of first love. Everyone's love language is different and people express their feelings in varied ways. The most important thing is open and honest communication. If you suspect he might be forcing himself to love you, talk to him about it and be observant. If he truly loves you, he should be willing to discuss your relationship openly. It shows whether the feelings are genuine and provide both of you with clarity on where you stand. Not all relationships are meant to last, but understanding that love is not forced can help you know when it is time to move on. If you find this video helpful, do well to like, share, leave a comment below. I would like to hear from your opinion as well, and also don't forget to subscribe for more exciting topics. I'll see you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.